Welcome to Wednesday night date night.
Oh yeah.
We thought we would, while we're driving and chatting, just hash out our road trip we just got back from. The plan was to just to camp for a month, go down to Mexico. Actually, it's probably finding that Airbnb that switched it all.
I think that is what switched it. We continue.
What?
What? It's closed.
No!
Any of the story.
Claiming $100. I was like, we didn't go on this trip to buy stuff.
And we also
Welcome to our channel. We don't like buying stuff, and we're minimalist.
We had I love telling the story, but we had an amazing coupon book. They weren't the Holiday Inn.
But the stories were great. The Holiday Inn, that's like the benchmark.
No, but wasn't that what that place was called? That's the thing, is that it's just transitions are hard. Anytime we are going to go to playgroup, for instance, they're like, I don't want to go. We get there, they're having a great time, and then it's like time to go home, and they're like, I don't want to go. So
welcome to Wednesday night date night.
Oh yeah, hallelujah for date night.
That makes it sound like we do this consistently every Wednesday,
It's
which unfortunately we do not.
But if we do it like we go on a date weekly, it's not always Wednesday.
Word. But this time we get to go out to a new restaurant we just discovered, Tuanhua.
And it's so delicious. Get some spicy ginger beef.
For those watching that do not reside in Canada, probably don't know what ginger beef is. Did you know that ginger beef is the most delicious Chinese food? It's maybe
a bold statement.
It actually is maybe my favorite, even though we've lived in China for 3.5 years and I've had a lot of exposure to a lot of fantastic Chinese food. Oh, maybe not but yeah, I don't know.
Not.
Definitely in the top 3.
Really good, but it is not my favorite.
But it was invented in Calgary, if I'm not mistaken.
You're right.
And
At
it's
the
just
Silver Dragon.
strips of, it's strips of
breaded beef.
fried beef in a ginger sauce.
With like, so good. It is delicious. And not real, I guess it's real Chinese food because a Chinese person invented it. It was just invented in Canada.
But this one we found is a spicy ginger beef.
And it's just got a nice spice to it.
Just a nice little, with a little bit of mayo and a tomato.
What's that from?
Princess Bride. Yeah, so we're off to that. Starving. So excited to be
So
eating.
hungry. We'll fit our kids. Thank you for making dinner, by the way. I was getting ready.
So you were saying, what?
I think I was talking about our trip.
Yeah. We thought we would, while we're driving and chatting, just hash out our road trip we just got back from. Well, not just got back from, it's
like a month
12th.
and
We need to go again.
Yeah, we do.
So
I think I was just saying we hadn't been on a trip in a long time.
Right. It's been at least a month and a half.
So yeah, we got some itchy feet. What happened? Well, actually,
we've been chatting about this for years.
Yeah, we've always wanted to go on a long road trip, and this trip we were going to go camping. We were going to bring a trailer.
Drove 5 hours north, bought a trailer specifically for this trip. I think I've got some footage of me going and getting that. We can put it in here.
We have a little bit of footage of us doing a little bit of minor renos on it as well.
Getting it all ready to go on our trip. The plan was to just to camp for a month, go down to Mexico, and what we ended up doing, we didn't end up going the plan didn't change where we went.
True, just the timing and whatnot. Well, and the problem was, can I say them real quick?
Uh-huh.
I had planned the trip and I had planned what we were doing, but I couldn't because the trip we were going to do it in a trailer, and it was supposed to be like, hey, if we're really enjoying this place, we'll stay longer. I had looked up campsites, but not really, but also I couldn't nail down dates because nothing was nailed down because of the way our trip was. So that's where we were at.
So as we were getting closer to leaving, like days before, we started looking, because we weren't going to be camping for 2 weeks into the trip, so we weren't too stressed.
Yeah.
But we started looking at campsites, and then it dawned on me that we're going to be paying like nearly $100 Canadian a night to camp, mainly in California is where we were planning on doing a bunch of camping.
It's so expensive.
And we were like, wait a minute, like our rig that we had set up was a tent trailer, could sleep 8 and it would sleep all of us, but it wasn't going to be luxurious, it wasn't going to be super amazing, it was just going to save us some money and we'd be camping. So we pivoted and we're like, what if instead of spending $100 a night to camp and hauling this trailer 7,000 kilometers all over North America,
And not having a bathroom, a real bathroom or a real shower.
all that jazz, it was. We were excited. We were going to do it, and it was going to be great. We would have made it work. That's how we go.
We would have done it.
We would have done it,
and we would have loved it.
But we pivoted and decided to go spend more time in Mexico. I found, actually, it's probably finding that Airbnb that switched it all.
I think that is what switched it.
I found this luxury condo Airbnb in Rosarito, which is about an hour south of Tijuana. Right on the beach, 9th floor, floor-to-ceiling windows, opening balcony door, like
gorgeous,
unreal. And it was nice. Like $180 Canadian a night. And so we were just like, wait a minute, we're going to be not even glamping. We're going to be straight up camping for $100 a night, or we can go spend some more time in Mexico and live in like the lap of luxury for $80 more a night. So that's what we did.
And we switched our plans. Like I had stuff. We actually still have the stuff in the garage. I had stuff in the garage ready to go in the trailer. We were ready to go camping.
Yeah, it was like I think we made this plan like there was a lot of like about 2 days before we left, we decided we're not taking the trailer.
We're going to Mexico for longer.
And then my good friend who lives across the street from us, watching over the house, we leave. He texts me. He's like, "Wait, are you guys gone?" You're like, "Yeah, we've left. See you in a month." He's like, "Trailer's still on the driveway." All right, about that.
Yeah.
We're not camping.
Which is just so us. Just plans, pivot.
So the reason for this trip was we've been talking about for years, wanting to do a big long road trip with the kids, see a bunch of stuff, travel,
like
just
live out of an RV.
Yeah. Motorhome would be sweet, and then we were like trailer, and then we were like tent trailer, and then we were like no trailer. So the plans evolved, but it was always the idea to get away, take the kids out of school, and just go see a bunch of stuff and be together as a family and make some really fun memories. And
be warm in January.
Yeah.
Just lovely.
So we set off to go spend New Year. We left December 29th.
Yep.
Raced down to my sister in Utah, and we spent 3 or 4 nights there. We did New Year's with them. Had a lot of fun.
Nice.
They have 14 kids in their family, so it was busy, fun to be with, hang out. Obviously, every one of our kids has like 2 cousins on either side of them that they could hang out with and play. So it was awesome. They have an outdoor heated pool in their community, a hot spring-fed pool.
Yeah, go swimming on.
So you're
was it New Year's Day or New Year's Eve? Either way. So
both,
fun.
Yeah, I don't know.
And it was just gorgeous.
With Lake Utah in the back and the mountains, just like so scenic.
Wait, we were in Utah, so Lake Utah and the mountains.
Oh, right, in the mountains.
Sorry.
Well, we didn't play any badminton, but we did talk about something.
Did we hang out in the foyer?
All right. And then from there, we went to our good friends in Cedar City, down near St. George in Utah.
Yeah.
Stayed with my good friend, and actually Becca's good friend. He introduced us.
How cute is that?
That's how we met. Stayed there, went and did Kolob Canyon, Zion's National Park. Hiking some cool stuff around there. Saw lots of cacti.
Lots of cacti.
He's our cacti friend.
Shout out to what's his handle?
Shout out to the Cactus Collective.
Yeah.
There you go, duds. Go check them out. It's all things cacti. Super cool.
Yeah. If you have a cactus question, just comment on his video because he knows the answer.
Where am I going? I'm gonna go over here. And then from there we went to Arizona when it got warm.
Oh, Arizona's beautiful, and our friends there were so fun. You skipped. We went to St. George and visited some friends from China.
Yeah, they were amazing. Hadn't seen them for a couple of years. Went and did lunch with them. Did a little hike. They showed us around. It was so fun.
Good times. Then we went to Arizona
and tried to hit up the Grand Canyon and forgot about the time change and got away late and didn't actually get to do it.
I missed the Grand Canyon.
Pretty ticked.
And originally we were gonna camp at the Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
We didn't even get to go at all. Rats.
Plans.
Rat skins.
Plans.
That's okay.
So we've got our besties that we got to know in China. They are from Utah and Arizona.
Real quick, wouldn't you want to turn here?
I'm going to go up to the
next one?
Yeah. and they live in Gilbert, and so we were blessed to be able to go stay with them for 3 nights, and that was just a blast. Hadn't seen them for years.
We had actually planned on staying at their house only 2 nights, and then we got there, we were like,
this is so fun.
They were like, you should stay another night. And we were like, we should.
Word.
Mm-hmm.
Kids got along great. It was awesome. So good.
So good.
My brother and sister-in-law and their family are also there, so we got to hang out with them. That was awesome.
Not as much time as we wanted, but at least we got to see them.
And Arizona is so good, so clean, so hot. We went out to some yummy restaurants. We were like, how do we get here?
Yeah. How do we live here while not being American or wanting to be American? Not that we don't love Americans. We just love being Canadian.
Yeah. But we love warm weather, and Arizona is all about that. But anyhow, then we were sad to go, but we left, and from there we went to Phoenix down to Yuma, and then crossed the border into Mexicali.
Mm-hmm. Which, if you have any questions on how that went with our 6 kids, us, and a giant white van that apparently, what's it called? What do they call down there? The cartel drive?
No one messed with us.
We're going to have a little short about it. Right? We have a short about it, but yeah, long story short, 3 minutes, story shorter. It went well.
It was good. It was a lot of fun. We were nervous, and everyone we talked to was like, that's a bad idea. Why would you drive to Mexico with your kids? You're going to get abducted, and you're going to get murdered, and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, come on.
And just like we thought, it went great.
When people tell us not to do stuff, we tend to want to do it more. So that's what happened. And it was great. Had a great time. And then drove over to Tijuana. The drive from Mexicali to Tijuana is gorgeous. You're climbing mountains, and it was super cool. Quite unexpected, I thought.
I actually slept through a lot of that. I was exhausted.
I did get to do all the driving, and I was happy with that.
And I was happy with that. As you can see, he's our honorary driver. I'm just a passenger princess.
She's quite a princess lover. Mm-hmm. Not really. You're not really a princess, but you're my little princess.
I'm a passenger princess.
There you go.
I'm sorry. I'm so critiquing your driving. This whole time I'm like, why are you in the right lane?
Because I'm not going fast. So if people want to pass in the left lane.
Does that work on a 2-lane?
Works always. Anyhow, then we got to Tijuana. We spent 3
I have no memory.
3 nights in Tijuana.
Yeah, sure.
And that was not sketchy at all. It was great.
It was
we
lovely.
were in a super cute little neighborhood.
Right by the ocean.
5-minute walk to the ocean.
It's gorgeous.
And saw and did and ate street tacos. And I got to go stroll around in the evenings when the kids were in bed and Becca was hanging out. Just check out the local scene. Yeah, eat street tacos with the locals, all that jazz. So good.
Like, just living the dream.
Oh, I want to be back. And then we went to that luxury condo.
And it was so nice. So lovely.
You know, when you pull up to a place and you're like, this is supposed to be pretty nice. And then you get there and you're like, this is nicer than I thought. Usually it's the other way around. You're like, this is supposed to be nice. And you're like, ugh.
But we got there and I was like, this was so much nicer than I thought it was going to be. I was freaking out. Yeah. Everyone was freaking out, actually. It was just lovely.
Yeah. We don't usually do, like, the super nice places. So
he's not wrong.
Quite a nice little eye-opener, like, nice little surprise. Wow! And so we were 5 nights there, right on the beach, had our own beach, went and visited some friends that we made there, their beach,
went to church in Mexico, and it was all in Spanish.
That was awesome. Oh, it was so good. So good. Okay, we
TBD.
Are here.
Nope.
TBTZ?
TBC. To be continued.
What?
It's closed?
No!
What does it say?
1 second. Oh, man.
Shoot. It just closed?
No, they'll be closed for like 2 weeks.
Is it?
But I was thinking I could really do some Taste of India as well. How's that slapping?
Oh, yeah. You can't go wrong with Indian. It's delicious.
You can only go right if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well.
Fun fact about India. Talking about pivoting, we were living
We've had decades of pivoting.
We were living in the Middle East. in Oman, which is 5 hours south of Dubai, if you happen to know where Dubai is.
Drive. A 4-hour drive.
Oh, okay.
It's just the country right above the United Arab Emirates.
It's right below it, isn't it?
Lovely. Yep, that too.
Anyways.
It's over there.
And we were going to go to India, and we had visas for India. We were ready to go, and it was like
flights were 7 a.m. and it was 10 p.m. the night before.
And she was probably like 4 months old.
3 months?
Yeah, and I just didn't feel great about it, so we didn't end up going.
Just at the last, Becca was like, I don't feel like we should go to India. And I was like, okay,
It's true.
like we're leaving tomorrow. Flights are bought, hotels are booked, all the jazz. Yeah,
but actually, no.
You should go pray about it. And I was like, oh.
I'm so sorry.
And we both felt like we shouldn't go. And it was a good.
Who knows what we dodged? Maybe we would have been kidnapped there. And that would have made for an interesting story, but I'm glad I don't have that story. we got to go to Dubai instead. It was good.
Without that story to tell.
Yeah.
Yes, Dubai instead was phenomenal. We got to spend a week in Dubai.
And we had I love telling the story, but we had an amazing coupon book.
Of all the things to talk about in Dubai,
well, like,
Becca loves bringing up the coupon book.
Because we just have so many random friends, but one of Mike's friends' father-in-law lives there, and you had met him. Anyways, we were staying at their house. We had met them once, and they were like, hey, we have this coupon book that we never use. And there was like 2-for-1 passes to Ferrari World.
Yeah, was that for Ferrari World?
Yeah. Woo! Like there was amazing. It wasn't just like 10% off. It was
like hundies and hundies.
Amazing. So you got to talk about the coupon book. I was just
reading about Ferrari World and the Book of World Records the kids brought home.
Oh, yeah?
It's still the fastest roller coaster.
Been on it. I'm pretty sure that's why I have such bad neck problems.
Early marriage trauma.
Mm-hmm. Where were we in this story?
So that was the Middle East. We were talking about pivoting. We were talking about India. We were talking about Kuwait.
It was right before we got to the, I think we were talking about Rosarito. Great, amazing time.
Oh, right. TBD. We're back into the D. Determined. We're determining now. We're back.
Oh, no, it's back into the C, to be continued.
Ah, there you go. That makes more sense than TBD.
Mm-hmm, I know.
So we enjoyed the time in Mexico. A big part of this trip, too, was we've really been considering and planning to move to Mexico. I think I'm the most excited about that. I would love to learn Spanish. I would love to have the kids learn Spanish, be immersed in the culture. I love the food. I love the weather. I like the simplicity. I don't know if anyone's like, hey, I love the not first worldness and all the conveniences that we have, which Mexico is not third world. But it's definitely not as developed and comfortable, I feel, as life is here, especially after being there for a little bit. But that also excites me. I like the
challenge.
I like the feel of it. Like, I feel like there's just more of a community feel when you're slightly less developed or slightly less.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even like in China,
rely on each other a little more.
And maybe even just population. Just there's more people. There's more shops. There's more street shops. There's more people out walking and eating at street side restaurant, things
eating
like that.
Outside.
Like just the culture is just so different than what we have in Canada.
Yeah. I also wonder if that is a little bit weather. Because it's just miserable.
For sure.
And I think we just get accustomed to being inside by ourselves because that's what we are 8 months of the year.
Yeah, that's a good call.
But still.
So the weather brings that opportunity as well. But I just love that idea. So we've got an uncle that lives down in Mexico. We were thinking of maybe going and spending some time where he's at, renting a place for a year or two. So before we really kicked off on that idea, we thought, hey, let's go actually spend some time in Mexico other than in the all-inclusive that we went to last year, which is pretty much the only time we've spent in Mexico. So.
Speaking of which, today I was talking to Fitz about traveling. And I was like, but you want to go to Mexico? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, did you love it? He's like, and we went all-inclusive first, and then we went to like not real life because we were still vacationing, but not all-inclusive Mexico. And he was like, yeah, but I don't like the second Mexico. I just like the first Mexico. Yeah, I get that.
All-inclusive is pretty sweet.
It is pretty sweet. And having our young kids in Mexico, we wanted to add a little bit of difficulty to life to make it less stagnant, but
Yeah, and because it wasn't like having our 6 kids and young kids in Mexico, we were scared. Like, we were never worried.
No.
The safety issue was never an issue, which we were pleasantly surprised and
honestly not overly surprised.
just pleasantly, hey, everyone that is hating on it, maybe you should spend some more time here. Because people were amazing. We loved being there. They were great with our kids. The kids had a great time. But as far as talking about like potable water, being
Sand in the diaper.
Yeah, we would, if we moved to Mexico, we'd want to be on. My goal would be to, well, and what we did when we were there, we did the sunset on the beach like every day we were there, and that would be a huge part of spending time in Mexico. Would be being on the beach, being in the ocean, being in the sand.
Yeah.
Having a 1-year-old crawling around.
Sounds less than ideal. Having
Sand
at
diaper,
least a
eating,
3-year-old.
Yeah.
Who doesn't have? I don't know. Is it called pica when they're 3? Pica is a disorder where people put things in their mouth, and all humans have that until they're about 3. But right. I don't know if it's called pica. Yeah, once kids stop putting things in their mouth and are smart enough not to drink the water.
Don't drink the poison.
Yeah.
And then a big one also with mainly our oldest, the idea of moving to Mexico was very...
She was not a fan.
Not a fan, and we couldn't really figure out why. Like, yes, it's a change of stuff, but she was like super against it. And then later when we decided, hey, maybe we won't do Mexico first, we'll do someplace else instead, and her first reaction was, I don't have to speak Spanish.
I think she was quite worried about the language.
Okay.
So if we do it, we gotta really get them tutors first.
Yeah, that would be good. So it was great to be able to go and spend time in Mexico. That was by far my favorite part of the trip.
Yeah.
And then...
But it was all lovely.
Shawarma?
No, I do want Indian. Yeah. Indian sounds amazing.
That's my girl.
A little bright.
Then from Mexico, we went up to
San Diego.
Went and did Balboa Park for the day. It was awesome.
It was so cool.
So
I am a little sad we didn't get more time in San Diego, but at the same time, it wasn't the best time of year to be there, so it was all good.
Yeah.
Then we went to LA, Los Angeles.
We went and stayed in Tustin, just outside of Los Angeles, and from there went to Disneyland with the kids for the day. Put in a 14-hour day at Disneyland, crushed 17 rides. The kids were amazing.
Our kids are such troopers.
It was so fun. It was a blast.
Me and the youngest 2 went on a 3-hour, 9-minute, what was supposed to be a 9-minute drive according to Google Maps, to get some Subway for dinner. So they got to sleep in the car, which I think was crucial to the enjoyment of their day.
Word. And then what else we got to do? The kids' biggest dream was to go and shop in LA. So we gave them...
I think you missed it. It was on that road.
Okay?
It's quite bright. I don't blame you.
So we gave them some parameters. They could buy one thing, had to think about it long and hard. And so I had some fun with that. They got to shop in LA, got some neat stuff.
Mm-hmm. Got to see a lot of things.
Sorry.
Good.
And then we went to our next Airbnb in Glendale.
Oh yeah, which was near California was on fire at the time, which I think also it wasn't as busy as it normally is, I don't think, because of that.
Which was lovely. The fires were really unfortunate.
Yeah. And then
we got to go to Universal.
Yep, Universal Studios, and that was super fun.
Oh, let's go eat.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got to visit some other friends in California. Got to go to church there. Visit some friends I haven't seen in like 20 years. So that was pretty cool. And then that wrapped up California. California was awesome. We had a lovely time.
And it was when the trip started. The plan was to go to San Francisco after, and then go to the redwoods, and then maybe go to Oregon and
Portland on the way home.
And then, but we were like, we've had a lot of driving, and it's been a month.
And we were looking with the kids. San Francisco, I'm still stoked to go there. I really want to go to the redwoods, see the Golden Gate Bridge with the kids. We've already been and seen some of that stuff, which is fun. But we were looking, and as far as must do with the kids, all that jazz, we were like, we could give it a pass for now.
Well, and also it was January. I think San Francisco's cold.
And it was if we if we bypassed that, we would save 10 hours of driving on the way home, which was looking pretty daunting to us at the time as we were getting ready to embark on the trip home after a month and the kids being
a little over the
pretty
driving.
spent.
Yeah. So then we swerved and went to Vegas.
Yeah. Viva Las Vegas. Had some times
And it
there.
was, we weren't planning on it because I was like, I don't really want to take my kids to the strip. There's nothing there I want them to see. And I was right.
Boobies.
Why do they want to show us their lady boobs?
Yeah. Some good stories, mainly about breasts in Las Vegas. Lots of boobs. On the old street, Fremont Street, we got to. Kids
well, no, they also saw breasts. The calling cards
and stuff. Yeah.
I don't know what they're called.
But Vegas was sweet. We got to go do Red Rock Canyon out there. We got to go to the strip at night, see the
Vegas strip was very fun. Oh,
all that jazz.
All the big store like the M&M 5th floor.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Vegas was awesome. We did love it. Super glad we went. And then we came back up the I-15, stayed with a cousin in Utah on the way home, stayed 2 nights there. They've got kids all our ages, so that was a lot of fun to spend time with them and get to our kids to know them and everything. And then we just pounded it back from Utah home. That's like a 12-hour drive, and just crushed it that day.
Yeah, we're just like, let's get it done.
The 12-hour drive to start our trip went quite seamlessly. The 12-hour drive to end our trip was definitely not as fun.
Not as seamless, but honestly not the worst.
Had the border agent quite confused.
Well, also because Mike was like, we spent $100. And we spent at least $200.
Okay, maybe.
But for a month. Either way, he wouldn't have believed.
What are you claiming? And we hadn't even thought of that because literally we just didn't buy anything. Like that one shopping day, the kids bought each a $20 thing, and then Becca bought shoes. Like, and I forgot about that. That's what set us over. But I was like, I don't know, like $100, and he's like,
he was not impressed with any of the story.
Claiming $100. I was like, we didn't go on this trip to buy stuff.
And we also
welcome to our channel. We don't like buying stuff, and we're minimalist. But yeah, he was quite confused.
Yeah.
He was almost pulling us in multiple times. You could just see he's like, pull in. I was like, don't.
Yeah, it was like,
it's
late. 11.
6 kids.
We've been driving.
Let's go.
But yeah,
it's like, you've been gone how long? Where do you live? Where did you go?
What do you do for
drove all
work?
the way down to Mexico. What do you do for work? Yeah, he was just quite confused of the whole situation. Which, granted, it's fair enough. That's not a normal situation, I guess. But neither are we.
Good times were had.
Mm-hmm. Let's go get some Indian. Peace. And we
had just finished our trip. We had just gotten home.
Yeah, just got home. So after that, went to the hot tub, obviously. Chatted about what the trip was like, how it went, highs, lows, pros, cons. We have made some decisions. Some plans are in the works. Obviously, we've talked about selling it all and moving. So that's been revealed about where we're going. That's the trick. But yeah, I think what's brought us to this point is the fact that, throughout our whole relationship, we've traveled a lot. We started off this relationship by traveling. Months after we got married, we went to China, lived there for 6 months, taught English, took a semester off school. It was amazing. Lived in Liuyang, China, in the middle of the country, in Hunan province, with arguably the best cuisine in the country.
So when we moved there, we didn't know that we were moving to the second spiciest province in China. And when I moved there, I was similar to my dad, where table pepper was spicy for me. What did I say?
Table pepper. Same thing. And I wasn't that far off, to be honest. I wasn't a spicy connoisseur.
It was a steep learning curve.
So, yeah, that was our China. That's kind of what kicked it all off, right? Our trip to China.
Yeah.
Opened up a broad new world for us. Pretty much never everything left. I lived for a couple of years. Served a mission for my church in Ireland for 2 years, but you did not.
He did not love being away from family.
It was a trick. It was definitely a hard experience, which is strange to look back on now that we just want to be as far away, not as far away from family, but we just want to see everything. We just want to go and see the world, and yeah.
But I think it's different because you get to go with your lover lady. the love of your life.
Mm.
Wait. The ground beneath your bare feet.
Oh, right.
And I think just having the freedom to go and explore and have street tacos with the locals and be with me
On a beach.
Or-
Beach.
or anywhere, I think it's different.
It's different.
It's different.
But yeah, having not had much world experience and then going months after we were first newly married across the world to China of all places, it was quite a trip.
It was
quite a change of scenery, and people were like, "What's going on?"
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
it was awesome. It was
the
best decision ever.
One of my best friend's mom, when she heard we were going, she was like, "You have to watch this movie." I did never watch it, but it was about like three like my age girls going on a trip abroad and getting kidnapped and.
Yeah, we didn't get kidnapped.
No, it was great. She was pretty certain that I was gonna.
Braun?
Oh yeah, they were so scared of you. They were so scared of me. I was massive.
She's a big lady
so
in China.
tall. Good times.
But yeah, I think that kind of kicked us off, got us in the mood for traveling. When we went there, we got to see a bunch of China. We got to go to Beijing and Shanghai and Xi'an, the Great Wall, Zhengzhiji, where the Avatar movies are set after.
Oh, gorgeous! Yangshuo is
Hong Kong, all that jazz.
Did we go to Hong Kong?
Our first trip? Actually, maybe we didn't.
Yeah.
Did we go to Macau that trip? That was second time.
Second time as well.
Yeah. No, but it was unreal, and that kind of just opened the door for us to being like, this world is cool.
Yeah.
And different people, different cultures, different languages, different food. We're all about it.
Yep.
Which is what brings us here. I mean, in the meantime, we've been back to China, spent 3 more years there, went to the Middle East like we talked about. We've
lived on a native reserve, which isn't.
It's
just a different culture. Where else have we lived? I guess those are where we lived, but when we lived in China, we traveled to almost every country in Southeast Asia.
And then when we were in the Middle East, we got to go to Dubai and Sri Lanka. And
not India. Dang it.
Yeah, so you can see we're blessed and have been able to travel and see lots of cool stuff and fall in love with different.
And I feel like because of the way we did it, because it sounds like traveling sounds expensive. People are like, ugh, but the way we did it, I don't know. I don't know why we're financially so set. To me, I don't know. We just made some really smart choices and also.
Doing it while teaching abroad, that was huge, right? We bought a rental property back home that we had renters in the whole time, so we were making money paying up a house, and then also we weren't paying rent. All those places, they paid to put us up, they paid to fly us home every summer, and then we got to travel in really inexpensive places in the world. And so,
because we went to Singapore, which is one of the most expensive places, but we traveled.
We did it the way we walk her, walker style. We walked a lot.
Oh my goodness, yes we did. I won't tell the story. We walked a lot, and
it's the best way to see stuff.
That's true. We also stayed in really, really sketchy places. They actually weren't that sketchy, but they weren't the Holiday Inn.
But the stories were great. The Holiday Inn, that's like the benchmark.
No, but wasn't that what that place was called?
That's how we roll.
Stop.
Yes. That's
No.
We see that in Hong Kong.
Yeah, in Hong Kong there was.
I was like, this is bare minimum. Would be
the Holiday Inn. I know, that's so funny. But that's what I mean. What was it called? The Chongqing Mansion? We weren't we for sure weren't staying at the Hilton, but we weren't even staying at the Holiday Inn. We were staying at the Chongqing Mansion, and literally the bedrooms were big enough to have 2. Were they double beds?
There wasn't 2. It was a single, wasn't it? Or were they 2?
No, because wasn't there one? It was like a really long one. There was 2 beds,
right.
not side to side, but it was like head to end.
Yeah.
And then there was enough space to walk and space to put your suitcase underneath the bed, and then a bathroom that you had to It was very, very small.
You didn't shower while standing or sitting on the toilet.
Yeah, you were showering over the toilet.
Yeah, it was wild. But again, that's where the memories are at.
It was sufficient, and there was the best Indian food on the main floor.
Indian food. Oh, yeah,
so good. Mm-hmm.
That had just been sitting out for who knows how long. And you're like, yeah, give me some of that, give me some of that.
Well, we didn't get sick.
That's where our iron stomachs started.
I think it started way before that. Also, that was where Pepper was introduced to Bollywood music, and for a year after she narrated her whole life like a Bollywood musical, and I loved it.
Maybe that's why it slaps so hard. See this TV over there? It's just got the Bollywood going. Our place in Hong Kong, our favorite restaurant, the Indian place there, just like you'd sit in these little plastic chairs at a plastic
They
table.
weren't even chairs; they were stools.
Yeah, and there's just a big screen with Bollywood music blasting and music videos. It was awesome. So good.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's given us the bug, and we've been here, planted, rooted in Southern Alberta for 7 years.
Which is
We
wild.
came back from China in 2018.
Yeah, most
and
of
we're now
Lux's
2025.
life.
That's wild.
Yeah. Because to me, it hasn't been that long. But it's time to get out of here.
Yeah. It hasn't felt that long, but when we look back, we're like, we've been here 7 years. Holy smokies.
I think it helps that we've moved 3 times.
Yeah. Within.
And-
Yeah.
And COVID. Time didn't exist during COVID.
Right. But lots of barriers are out of the way. Finances are set. Life's ready. Kids are at a good age. Although if you ask them, they're like, we don't want to live. But we're very
Mostly.
confident that they're going to have a fantastic time.
Oh, they're gonna love it. And that's the thing is that it's just transitions are hard. Anytime we are gonna go to playgroup, for instance, they're like, I don't want to go. We get there, they're having a great time, and then it's like time to go home. And they're like, I don't want to go. So we just don't know what they want.
There's no winning, you know?
Yeah, so we're just gonna have a great time and take them where we know. We're just gonna try and make their life great, whether or not they believe us.
So there you go. That's the debrief of the trip. Plans we've got coming up. We're excited. It's been a long time coming of chatting about making some big changes,
Moving to
moving to,
Bleep.
and we're just excited to go and do and see what's the next chapter. Sell it all, uproot, get uncomfortable, and go have some fun, grow, have some fun together as a family, make some more lasting memories that we will be talking about for decades and decades. And most excited about that.
Yeah, it's gonna be so good.
I love ya.